Soviet guy, and I just got this free down because I have nothing else to do. And the reason why I have nothing else to do is because most of my game servers are empty right now. Fact is that there are so many underrated shooters and multiplayer games out there that people just forget about them, and I have nobody to play with. So, here are the top 10 most underrated shooters ever. Half-Life was an amazing single-player game with a very strong multiplayer component. And the problem why Half-Life Deathmatch died relatively quickly is because of the popularity of the retarded mod to it called Counter-Strike. Nothing beats plain old deathmatch with body parts flying around, laser mines scattered behind every corner, and the famous bugs making you run for your life. It was and still is a great game, and even Counter-Strike eventually got its own deathmatch mode, but it all began with Half-Life Deathmatch. Red Orchestra was a well-executed Steam-only World War II game running on the Unreal Engine. It had everything you'd ever want, but it was forgotten really fast with heavy retail competition from games like Call of Duty. And it's a shame. Red Orchestra should have become one of the World War II classics. With number 8, I need to explain why I hate Counter-Strike so much. So the game came out as a mod to Half-Life and had its original formula. 8 years later, that formula still hasn't changed. Although 5 years ago they tried to change it by adding a shield, which made the gameplay a lot more fun. Yet all of the faggot gaming leaks forbidden the shield because it was messing up the balance, right? They were too afraid gamers wouldn't want to play Counter-Strike anymore if they changed anything. Thank you so much for innovative esports gaming leagues. Thank you so much, you fuckers. What is Battlefield 2 doing on my list, you ask? The game gained a huge following and still has full servers, yet it's a huge shame that it never turned into a full-on electronic sport. That's primarily because of Counter-Strike. The game itself was a bit too difficult for casual players, yet after the learning curve and understanding how the squad mechanics work, it's one of the most phenomenal multiplayer experiences ever. Too bad Electronic Arts is now milking the IP to death. Team Fortress Classic is one of those games that proved most gamers are fucking retards. This Half-Life mode came along with Counter-Strike and actually forced the team to work together. Sure, Team Fortress 2 is a huge commercial success, but the original game is way too underrated. It had so much going on in it, and is probably why it died off quickly. The community wasn't ready for something that complex, that's why they stripped down a lot of stuff in Team Fortress 2 and are now gradually adding things into the game. This just proves how retarded most gamers are. Counter-Strike Source. This game follows the fate of previous Valve multiplayer games mentioned on this list. They realized they failed the whole shield thing with renovating gameplay and made a whole new game on the Source engine, which supposedly had the formula from the original Counter-Strike. In the end, some players upgraded, but most gaming leagues once again stuck with the original. As a result, another underrated game that should have been a phenomenal hit. Thank you, retarded gamers. Battlefield 2142. This game proves that gamers are fucking retards that don't want to learn anything new, especially with the coming of the casual gaming era. It expanded on the success of Battlefield 2, added giant walking robots, made the whole fighting system more complex, and was too much for the average gamer who mastered Battlefield 2 to handle. So after this game, EA said, well, fuck it, and went to degrade the franchise. Operation Flashpoint. This game was huge. I remember missions with over 100 people on screen and a very nice multiplayer component. Yes, those 100 people were bots. You could actually create your own vehicles in it and share it with other people. Operation Flashpoint had maps the size of which haven't been matched by any game out there since. But it came out during the time of World War II shooters where everyone was obsessed with killing Nazis and Russians. Fuck you. And also was too complex for everyone to handle. We'll see what comes out of Operation Flashpoint 2. I hope that it won't be degraded casual crap. I really do. Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. I'm not exactly sure why this game didn't catch on. I mean, what can beat getting killed by a flying toilet? The gravity gun was a real game changer, yet for some damn reason there aren't many servers full on the net. Even when the game came out, there were several times more players online in Counter-Strike servers than in HL2. If anyone wants to toss some toilets around, please add me on Steam. And the number one game is Tribes 2. This is probably the best multiplayer ever made. It was just so ahead of its time. It had 7-man flying vehicles, remote bases, 3 types of armor, hover bikes, turrets powered by base generators, cloaks, jetpacks that took the fight into the skies and added a real third dimension to the battles. It even had a follow system where you can tag anything or anyone and it would appear in your HUD. It was fucking crazy. Tribes 2 was so amazing that nobody up to this day in 2009 came close to the complexity and depth of that masterpiece. Do you know those popular skiing and surfing maps in many games like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, etc.? Tribes 2 actually utilizes the skiing mechanic and implements it into the game. You can ski down a mountain, gain momentum and speed of 200 km per hour, grab the flag and use a jetpack to get the fuck out. Even now I can't see the multiplayer modes featured in Tribes 2. So you know the capture the flag mode, right? Well, to get a flag in Tribes 2 you need to send in a cloud scout to check out the defense, send a heavy and or a cloud sapper to take down the generators, destroy the remote turrets set up by engineers, destroy all the movement sensors, send in a flag capper to grab the flag at 200 km per hour and provide transportation for him, and then escort the capper to your base while trying to prevent your enemy from doing the same. Or there is this mode called Rabbit. It's pretty much capture the flag, but who has the flag is the rabbit. So if you have the flag, you need to hold down to it, and everyone is after you to get that flag. So the longer you keep the flag, the more points you get. Have you seen this kind of multiplayer mode in any recent game? I haven't. I'm telling you, nothing beats the same feeling when 3 people man a bomber. One is the pilot, the other operates the railgun and the bombs, and the third mounts on top, providing cloaking from sensors via a jammer, flares and shoots off shrikes, those are the flying plates, from the top. And when you're flying around pawning the enemy base, it gives you such a rewarding feeling when you work together. We usually even set up a remote station somewhere behind the mountain in case we get hit. This remote station provides health to everyone and lets us change our gear as well as fix our bomber ship. This is the most underrated game that should have been the ultimate multiplayer esport today. Thank you Counter-Strike for fucking degrading gaming. I'm that Soviet guy and I'm gonna get drunk today. So I have a pirated copy of MGS3 Subsistence in here. Don't tell, yeah, eat it. Никакие.